Hello, human. I am ELENA, your friendly electronic entertainment android. Welcome to my Let's Play of King's Quest VI. Heir today, gone tomorrow. King's Quest VI is widely considered to be the best entry in the series, and it's one of my favourite old-school adventure games. It's been many years since I played this game, so this is going to be a half-blind playthrough. Let's start by watching the opening animation.
Long ago, in the castle of a kingdom called Daventry.
Alexander, here you are. Oh, you're still not thinking about Cosima, are you?
I suppose I am.
Son, it's been months. You've got to pull yourself together. After all, you only met her that once.
I know.
Have you discovered anything about the land of the Green Isles?
No. No one's even heard of it. It's like she's just vanished.
I wish I could help. Please try to think about something else, dear.
I'll try, Mother.
Alexander, I feel so alone. I don't know what to do. Alexander, I wish you were here. Alexander.
Cosima! Wait! Mother! Mother, come quick!
Alexander, what on earth? You're white as a ghost.
Mother, I saw Cosima. She was in the mirror.
In the mirror? The magic mirror?
Yes! And it showed me how to find her.
How?
The stars! I saw the stars outside her window. I can navigate by the stars.
Oh, Alexander, if you really go...
It will be all right, Mother. I promise.
Prince Alexander sailed the known seas and beyond. As the ship nears the shore, day turns to night and the sea turns violent. Alexander awakens to find himself on an unfamiliar beach. For a moment, he is too dazed to remember how he got here. Then he does remember. The shipwreck, the sea. Just as he had seen his men safely into the lifeboats, a gigantic wave picked him up and tossed him overboard into the churning sea. That was the last he'd seen of his crew. Debris from the shipwreck is scattered along the shore, but of the lifeboats and his men, there is thankfully no trace. He can only hope and pray that the lifeboats survived the currents, and that his men made their way safely back to Daventry.
Well, here we are, shipwrecked on a mysterious island. My favourite way to play old point-and-click adventures is to look and poke at everything in your surroundings. With a technique like that, you're bound to do something right sooner or later.
The island is covered with lush green plants.
This is like listening to a storybook. I love it.
The remains of Alexander's sailing ship lie dashed upon the distant shore.
It's a good thing he got his crew into a lifeboat.
Alexander's royal insignia ring lies abandoned on the sand. It must have slipped from his finger during the shipwreck. Fortunately, it was not lost in the sea.
That ring looks like it could be useful. We'd better pick it up.
Alexander picks up his royal insignia ring from the beach.
I think there was something hidden somewhere on this beach. Let's look around.
Alexander pushes the plank to one side. A box has been partially buried under sand.
I love that little ding-ding sound.
Alexander's treasure box lies partially buried in the sand. It must have washed ashore with the other ship debris.
Well, what's in the box?
There's a copper coin in the treasure box. The coin bears the seal of Daventry and King Graham's noble face.
One measly copper coin. Some treasure.
Alexander takes the coin and leaves the ruined box where it is. The ocean appears calm, but there's a dimpling pattern to the surface which indicates an undertow.
Oh dear, that sounds a bit dangerous. Well, I guess we'd better go and see where we've landed. I see a fancy castle and what looks like a village.
To the left, a small village seems to invite the weary traveler. In the distance, a majestic castle shines in the sun.
Well, which way should we go? If Casimir is a princess, she might be in that majestic castle. Let's go check it out. Wow, he's slower than a snail. I'm gonna have to increase his speed.
The castle appears to be of Moorish architecture. Its marbled walls and delicate inlaid mosaics are unlike anything Alexander has ever experienced before. His own home, though lovely and dear to his heart, seems rough-hewn compared to this delicate beauty.
He made it sound like Alexander lives in a hovel.
2 guards take their stance in front of the castle doors. They look quite fierce and have the stiff, blank expression of soldiers on formal duty.
They are literal guard doggies. I love it. Let's have a word with them, provided that they don't just bark at us.
Alexander politely addresses the odd-looking guards at the castle doors, hoping to learn more about his predicament.
Good day to you, guards. I was cast upon this island in a storm, and I'm a little confused about my location. Could you tell me what place this is and who lives in this castle?
Hey, what is that you say? A castaway? A likely story. We haven't had any foreigners in this part since Alhazred arrived.
Don't be so rude, Gruff. He's not asking for any secrets. You're standing on the Isle of the Crown, lad, and this is the Castle of the Crown. The royal family resides here. Rather, what's left of the royal family.
The Isle of the Crown? But tell me, am I anywhere near the land of the Green Isles?
This is the land of the Green Isles. The Isle of the Crown is the main island, foolish boy.
Then Princess Cassima must live in this very castle.
Aye, the princess is indeed our treasured jewel to guard, and we consider it an honor.
He shipwrecked on the island he was looking for. Very convenient. Should Alexander show them his royal signet ring? Maybe they'll let him inside.
Alexander decides to show his royal insignia ring to the Castle of the Crown guards. With all of his papers lost in the shipwreck, it is the only possible calling card he can think of.
Good day. I'm Prince Alexander of Daventry. I'm an acquaintance of Princess Cassima. If you could just inform her that I'm here, please.
So everyone says. Let me just look at that ring.
What does it say, Gruff?
Kingdom of Daventry, Prince Alexander. Wait here while I go see what Captain Saladin thinks of this.
I've never played the Windows version of this game that has the enhanced character portraits. To be honest, I prefer the original portraits, even if they were more pixelated.
The guard returns a moment later with a majestic-looking creature. Captain Saladin speaks with a voice that is gentle, but reflects a will of iron.
Prince Alexander of Daventry, I presume. I'm afraid I'm unfamiliar with your country, but I'm sure Vizier Alhazred will want to meet you, if indeed you are a friend of the princess. Please, follow me.
He's a very majestic doggy indeed.
Lord Alhazred, a visitor to see you. Prince Alexander of Daventry.
What is it that you seek, Prince Alexander?
Pardon the intrusion, my lord, but I came to see Princess Cassima. Some months ago, my father, King Graham, saved my family and I from imprisonment under an evil wizard named Mordak.
The same wizard that kidnapped the princess?
Exactly. When my father rescued us, he also liberated Cassima and sent her home.
Then your father has my gratitude, and that of the entire kingdom. But I'm afraid I still fail to see the purpose of your visit.
Well, I came to make sure that Cassima arrived safely and to pay my respects. Before we parted, she gave me an invitation to visit.
I have no doubt she did exactly that at the time, Prince Alexander. However, things have greatly changed for Cassima since her ordeal in Mordak's castle. Cassima's parents both became ill and died while she was gone. Cassima is sequestered in mourning for them as befits a princess. She is not receiving visitors of any kind. Even if she were, I do not think your visit would be appropriate. You see, it is time for Cassima to take her responsibilities seriously. With her parents gone, she no longer has the luxury to be a carefree maiden. As was her parents' wish, Cassima and I are to be wed. We shall rule the kingdom together. I assure you, our marriage is all Cassima wants now. As a prince and a gentleman, it would be best that you leave before there is any further embarrassment.
I see. I suppose that I was mistaken. I thought for certain that Cassima... Well, I apologize.
A young man sees what he wishes to see. I'm sorry you've wasted your time traveling to the land of the Green Isles. May your journey home be swift.
Perhaps I will take the opportunity to look around your fair land while I'm here.
I would advise against that. The kingdom is rather, shall we say, inhospitable these days. But it is your neck. You may risk it if you please. Captain Saladin will escort you from the castle. Good day.
Well, that was a rude welcome.
You have had your hearing with Vizier Alhazred. I trust you will respect his wishes and not return. I have been instructed not to let you into the castle again. Good day, my lord.
Captain Saladin whispers something to the guard dogs at the castle gate, and they nod with understanding. Alexander has a feeling they won't be letting him into the castle again.
We'll just see about that. I guess we'd better explore somewhere else then. My first impression of this island is not very positive. Let's hope people in that village are more welcoming.
A key-shaped archway provides access to another part of the village. The sign says Pawn Shop. The sign above the door says Ali's Books. An old beggar is peddling his wares in the village. He offers a variety of lamps, all neatly lined up on a long pole.
Let's see if the beggar will talk to us.
Old lamps for new! Old lamps for new!
Good day, peddler.
Good day, sir. If you would like to get one of my fine new lamps, I'll need an old lamp in trade.
Isn't it a rather bad business? Taking old lamps and giving new lamps in exchange?
Well, there's always a chance that I'll find a genie. If I had a genie, I'd be richer than a king. Besides, there's always a roaring business in antique luminaries.
Well, if we find an old lamp somewhere, we know who to see. Let's check out Ali's bookshop next.
Hello, I will be right up. Now, what can I do for you?
Well, this is a cozy little shop.
These shelves hold a collection of oddly titled guidebooks. Alexander notices such books as How to Become King with Little or No Rupees Down, Finding the Right Girl with the Right Dowry, and Why Good Princesses Like Bad Wizards.
Can you tell this game was co-written by Jane Jensen, who also wrote the Gabriel Knight games?
An old man occasionally steals sidelong glances at Alexander from under a concealing hood.
He's just a wee bit suspicious, isn't he?
Good day, sir.
The mysterious old man just ignores Alexander.
Well, that's a bit rude. Where are your manners, Grandpa?
For some inexplicable reason, Alexander feels compelled to avoid this hooded old man.
Now, how could a strange man dressed in a black robe possibly be dangerous?
Good day, sir. I'm a stranger in this land. What can you tell me about the land of the Green Isles?
That is quite a question, young man. Who are you, and what would you have me tell you?
My name is Alexander. I know I'm on the Isle of the Crown, but I'd like to know whatever you can tell me about this island, and if there are other islands nearby.
You are indeed a stranger. Anxious is the man who knows not the customs of the land beneath his feet. This island is called the Isle of the Crown, because the royal family's castle is here. Besides the castle, we also have this village, and the docks over to the west, there are at least 3 other islands. The Isle of the Sacred Mountain, the Isle of the Beast, and the Isle of Wonder.
At least 3? Does no one know for certain?
This is no ordinary land, Alexander. The land of the Green Isles has always been a place of vague boundaries, as if islands come and go. Legend speaks of a 4th island, an isle shrouded in mists. I myself have never seen it. Then, too, the land of the Green Isles is said to exist on the boundaries of this world and the next. Even darker places are reputed to be closer here than anywhere else in the world.
That's quite a claim.
Claim, yes, but probably just local superstition. We who live here on the Isle of the Crown, at least, sleep well enough at night.
Those first 3 islands you mentioned, how might I learn more about them?
Ideally, a young man seeking such knowledge would travel to their shores and learn about them firsthand. Meeting the leaders of each place would be helpful, naturally. Unfortunately, the ferry no longer runs between the islands. There has been much political unrest, and it has been too dangerous to travel for years. Perhaps the ferryman can tell you more. He has little enough to do these days. And if you haven't been there already, you might seek an audience at the castle.
Thank you kindly, merchant, for all your good advice.
Ah, but advice is free, Alexander. Making use of it costs much more.
So we have at least 3 other islands to explore, and perhaps a mysterious 4th island, if we can find it. Can I read any of these books?
Volumes of poetry are on display on this bookshelf. Thinking of Cosima, Alexander decides to leaf through one of the volumes of love poetry. He reads, "Thy hair, thy lips, thy beauteous face, and all thy studied female grace have won for thee anon a place within this broken breast." Not bad. And another. "Upon the shore the lilies bend, untouched by worldly care, where shadow they her earthly bed, oh, that she were not there." Yikes. And another. "What was it when I looked at you? What power has chained me through and through, and binds my heart with links so tight, I cannot live without the sight of you? What nameless thing has captured me, and made me powerless to flee? What thing is it without a name, that brings my mind e'er back the same to thee? The name of love cannot apply, its commonness does not decry the haunted, painful cry that my heart makes for you, that e'er my soul eternal makes for you."
A little close to home, that one.
Alexander returns the love poem book to the shelf.
Hey, something fell out.
A page has fallen from the poem book and now lies on the floor.
Yoink.
Alexander picks up the fallen page. It's the love poem he particularly liked. It must have fallen out of the poetry book.
I see that old volume has lost another page. You may keep it if you like, sir. I have glued the stubborn thing back in place 2 times already.
I do rather like it. Thank you, merchant.
Now we have a passionate love poem for
An
Cosima.
antique leather-bound book is displayed on a little stand on the counter. On the elaborate cover is the title, "Ye Useful Book of Magic Spells."
Alexander could definitely use a book like that.
How much for that book on the counter, merchant?
It is a fine book, is it not? I obtained it from the estate of the one and only magician this kingdom has ever had.
poofed himself into an aardvark in the end, or so I heard. I never found the spells all that useful myself, but then I lead a boring life. I tell you what, if you can find another rare book, something a bit more marketable, I might be willing to exchange the spelled book for it.
What's this blob of pixels?
There's a small table near the door that bears a sign. The sign has undergone a number of changes. It once read 10 pence, but that was crossed out and replaced with 5 pence, then 1 pence, then free. The sign currently reads, "Take one, please."
Don't mind if I do.
Only one book remains on the table. It looks like the bookshop owner really wants to get rid of that book.
Yoink.
Alexander picks up the book from the small table.
Oh yes, please take that book. You have my most humble thanks for doing so, good sir.
Really? Thanks.
I'm keeping these videos a little shorter, so we'll continue our adventure in the next episode. Thank you for watching my video, human. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and consider subscribing to my channel. I hope to see you in the next video.